A Chinese migrant in the country illegally has been arrested and charged with allegedly shipping weapons, ammunition, and military tech from California to North Korea.
He was here illegally, so he shouldn't have been here. He was able to develop a very sophisticated scheme, evade law enforcement for some time.
When technology and sensitive items fall into the wrong hands, especially those of hostile nations, the risks to global security are profound.
Tudor Dixon is a former Michigan GOP gubernatorial candidate and the host of the Tudor Dixon podcast. She joins me now. Tudor, as you well know, thousands of illegal Chinese migrants were let into our country under the Biden administration, not to mention the millions in total that were let in. How worried are you that more of those illegal Chinese migrants are working to help our enemies, but have not yet been caught?
Well, I'm very concerned about it, and I think a lot of people are. I mean, that's what we've heard for years now, especially coming out of the FBI. The largest threat, the biggest threat to the United States is China. And now we see this is a person who came through. His student visa was expired in 2012. He's been in this country for a very long time. So you have to question, Todd, how many of these people have been in the country for over a decade now, planning something, and now there's tens of thousands of migrants coming across the border from China, Chinese nationals. What is the plan? How much danger are we in right now? Because this was a massive weapons store that came over from North Korea. We know that North Korea and China and Russia and Iran have all been working together. These are very scary times, and this is something that has slid in under Biden's nose. I mean, let's not forget the balloon that went across the country that was noticed by a civilian, not even by our own military. How much danger are we in?
So concerning. And now from bad actors who are here illegally to potentially bad actors that we gave a tax incentive to come. National security threats rising in Michigan as Goshen Parent Company signs a partnership with a controversial Chinese university. The House Select Committee on the CCP finding, quote, the university has a documented history of serving the PRC, People's Republic of China's national security and defense apparatus, including involvement in defense research and alleged cyber attacks targeting various international entities. Look, Tudor, we all saw this coming. You were on this show dozens of times warning us about the Goshen security concerns. Why didn't Gretchen Whitmer, the governor there in Michigan, see this?
Well, I think Gretchen Whitmer is so desperate for a win. I mean, if you look at the state of Michigan right now, we're in complete upheaval with GM potentially closing their headquarters and essentially looking like they're leaving the state. She needed a win, and she was willing to go to China to get the win, and she was willing to risk our national security to say, hey, I've brought some jobs to the state of Michigan in the almost 8 years now that she's been here. She has not done anything. So, look, it's not just Michigan. It's the entire country that's in danger. But it's Michigan and Illinois especially right now because those are the two places that Goshen is wanting to build factories. And they are in Michigan, it is very close to a military base. We are incredibly concerned that they have now partnered with a university that, as you mentioned, is allegedly tied to cyber attacks. This is something that we've seen. This is the biggest concern we have in the United States. Could they shut us down and then invade? Could they shut us down and then attack? If they are within our borders, absolutely, we are at a greater risk. Now you couple the fact that they are inside of our borders and they have partnered with a university that is the president of China's alma mater, that also is known to have ties to their military and work with them on strategy, and allegedly cyber attacks across the globe. This is incredibly dangerous. I mean, these two stories that we've just talked about together, Todd, this looks like a very scary time for the United States. Donald Trump can't get into office fast enough.
Well, what's wild about all this, your taxpayers there in Michigan paid $175 million in subsidies to bring this threat into their shores, into their borders. I mean, that's the wild part of all of this. You've been on top of this story from the get-go. Thank you for staying on top of it. Hopefully, when Donald Trump gets into office, he does something to remove the security threat. Tudor Dixon, is always a pleasure. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.